Dragon's Breath. The name alone stirs curiosity, but what's the story behind this mysterious color? Is it the bold statement your space needs, or is it just too much? In this video, I'm going to give you everything you really need to know about Dragon's Breath, and more importantly, my 3 color pairings at the end are going to go perfectly with it, so stick around. Any Dungeons & Dragons fans watching? Dragon's Breath by Benjamin Moore is a deep, rich brown with strong gray undertones. Its LRV, or light reflectance value, makes it one of the darker neutrals in Benjamin Moore's lineup, but it doesn't feel quite as harsh as black or as stark as a pure gray. I find it to be a very versatile shade, perfect for creating an intimate mood, but it can sometimes feel overwhelming in spaces with poor lighting. To me, Dragon's Breath really thrives when paired with brighter whites or soft creams to balance its intensity. Any lighter neutrals, to be honest. But it can also add depth to accent walls, cabinetry, or even on ceilings if you really want to raise the roof. The best way I can describe it is it's moody, but not gloomy. Perfect for a sophisticated, grounded look in your home. And now more than ever is the time to explore color. Find those spaces, those rooms, or even those walls in your home to really change things up and add some depth and richness. And Dragon's Breath is a pretty good starting point. Even with its massive amount of depth and richness, it's still kind of neutral. So it's going to work with a lot of other colors, especially these 3 color pairings that I put together for it. Okay, so taking a look at Dragon's Breath, this is a Benjamin Moore color, 9 LRV, very dark option. And essentially, I sort of see it as a really deep chocolatey brown. It's described as a dark gray brown, which can also be defined as taupe. So any box you put it in, that's basically what you're getting. Nearly an off black level of darkness. Colors that I want to pair with it all introduce something a little bit different, typically something lighter. And the white pairing, the white choice I'm putting with it is White Dove. White Dove is one of my favorite off-whites to use on kitchen cabinets because it does a great job at feeling clean, but also there's just enough warmth in there to brighten it up. And because Dragon's Breath is already so dark, you don't need to go with the brightest, cleanest, most stark whites ever. You can go with one like this that has an 83 LRV. It's going to feel right at home as a trim color, a ceiling color. Not too bright that I would discourage you from using it on the walls if you wanted to do that. So a lot of versatility here in White Dove. My second color pairing, which is on the light side of things, my light choice, Barren Plain. That kind of shares some characteristics with Dragon's Breath in terms of what the color is actually made of, which is a bit of that brown and that gray coming together, but to a much lighter degree. You could call this a taupey color. Most people define taupe as a deeper version of gray and brown, but if you lighten it up enough, that's kind of what you get with Barren Plain. And a little cheat sheet is you can scroll down on this Benjamin Moore website and you could analyze some of the different shades, which essentially are the lighter and darker alternatives to Barren Plain, being that it's in the color preview collection. These are all essentially the same foundational color hue. And as you get darker, you can really start to see the saturation starts to develop into brown. The darkest color is called Deep Taupe. Barren Plain, kind of a light taupe in a way. Now, what light taupe can sometimes do, depending on the lighting, is you can start to see some interesting lighting interactions and how the undertones present themselves. Sometimes it can feel a bit pinky, purpley. Rarely will this color feel greeny. That's why I tell you to sample and test the colors, because you really need to see it in the space you're using it in. And then my bright color pairing, the bright choice would be Iced Marble. So this is going to bring in that coolness that I was talking about, but it's more straightforward. Rather than gray kind of carrying the cool aspect, in this case, you get a cool green aspect, very, very bluey green, but it is settled with some gray to tone it down. 47 LRV, so it's a mid-tone. I would probably call this the co-accent color to Dragon's Breath. The hue is quite prominent and it will feel very accentuated next to the other colors, which are all kind of neutral, really. And that's it.